Hey everybody, happy March out there, happy first day of spring, everything like that. The weather's getting hopefully a little bit warmer for everybody. Since it's springtime, that means one thing, that record store day is around the corner. Record store day is the day you go out and you support your local record stores. Lots of artists release special releases then. I just looked at the list, actually was released today, of all the stuff that'll be sent out this year to record stores for metal stuff. I saw some stuff from Dream Theater, for some stuff from Ghoul, and usually a lot of bands have some stuff there. And even if they don't have some stuff, usually your local record store should make a pretty big deal out of it. Last year I went; it was my first year. And it was a whole lot of fun. There was a ton of people there. It was an experience that I'll never forget. It was at Love Garden in Lawrence, Kansas. And I got up super early, drove down there, got in line, waited for a couple hours, but it met a whole bunch of cool people. And I picked up some really nice stuff. So I'm going to be showing off some of my records today. Most of them are ones that I got at Record Store Day at Love Garden last year. Except for one, and that is going to be this first one. Okay, my first record today is the self-titled debut album from Magic Circle. Magic Circle, I talked about them a little bit in my Chaos and Tejas review video. They are a band comprised of a bunch of kind of like Boston, New York hardcore band members. But this is straight up Black Sabbath worship. In fact, this album, just kind of a good old normal Black album there. Got some art and then the lyrics and stuff like that. This album actually was my pick, my personal choice for my favorite album of 2013. Very, very good Black Sabbath worship. The vocalist actually sounds just like Ozzy Osbourne in his prime. So if you are an old school metalhead and you don't like any screaming or stuff like that, or if you like this screaming kind of like a Robert Plant does, stuff like that, I can't recommend this album enough to you. It is exactly what you're looking for. Okay, the rest of these albums are going to be ones I picked up at Love Garden on Record Store Day. Okay, this first one, it was not a special Record Store Day release or anything, but I found it while waiting to go through the exclusive Record Store Day selection, and I was like, I gotta have this. It is Abigail's Sweet Baby Metal Slut. That is a great album title. This album is on Nuclear War Now. Great, really awesome label. Apparently this is pretty hard to find. They just re-released it on CD, but as far as vinyl goes, apparently it's pretty hard to find. But a really good condition. Abigail is a black metal and thrash band from Japan. I saw them at Maryland Death Fest last year, and they put on one of my favorite sets of the festival. So I kind of got a record, pink. Everything's pink. It's awesome. They kind of, you can probably kind of throw them in with, I mean, Sabat, but that's kind of cheating. Because Sabat almost like the same band from Japan and everything. But then also like they get thrown in kind of with Midnight and some of these like revivalist speed metal with black metal overtone bands, maybe like a Speed Wolf and stuff like that too. This is probably my favorite album by them. Great stuff. Okay, this next album actually I just picked it up on a whim. Because I saw it and it was really weird, really cool. It is actually a compilation called Japanoise of Death. I'm actually a pretty big fan of Masana, who is a Japanese noise artist. Very harsh. I kind of like him more than when noise music is mentioned. I would assume most people think of Merzbow. Merzbow's good, but Masana, he does his stuff live. Like, he has the pedals, he has a microphone that he screams into. He creates the noise. Masana has like a laptop and stuff like that, and it's very calculated. And that's great for what he does. I just prefer the more chaotic noise stuff. I'm not going to take this out, but it has a whole bunch of different artists, and then right down the very last track is a Masana track. I actually saw that, and I was like, okay, I have to get it. Yeah, a bunch of different stuff in there. I'll put the link to this album in the description, so you can check out all the artists for yourselves. But yeah, I definitely like it. If I can find like a legit Masana vinyl, I would pay stupid money for that. Okay, this next album is actually one that was released specifically for Record Store Day. It is Botch's American Nervoso. Botch is kind of a very old school metalcore band, and that means metalcore as in metallic hardcore, as in kind of even like mixed with post-hardcore stuff and sludge and whatever. I would lump them along with like Coalesce, early Converge, early Norma Jean, stuff like that. They re-released this as a re-release. This is their second album. I actually just looked at the list for Record Store Day 2014. They're actually re-releasing their first album for Record Store Day. But yeah, this has big, nice package. 2 vinyls in there. Botch, yeah, kind of like the little hints of mathcore and stuff like that. I think they've been on tour before with Dillinger Escape Plan, like back in 2001 or 2002. Stuff like that. So if you're a fan of any of those bands I mentioned, this album's really good. Their last album, it got inducted to the Decibel Hall of Fame. That's probably the most popular, but all their albums are pretty good. Okay, another album that was released specifically for Record Store Day was Turn It Around by Comeback Kid. Comeback Kid is kind of the prototype for bands, I would say, like Rotting Out, or maybe you could even apply their sound to being like the blueprint for like Title Fight, stuff like that. Kind of like good hardcore, but then there's parts of like melodic hardcore, and straight up punk stuff. Nice kind of blue clear vinyl. Super nice, super nice. Comeback Kid, they just released their latest album, and it's still, if you're into this kind of really fast kind of hardcore staples or like gang shout-alongs and stuff, Comeback Kid is where you need to head. Good stuff. Okay, this album I'm pretty sure was not released for Record Store Day because it's nothing special. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I found it just kind of browsing through the stuff at Love Garden before looking at the exclusive stuff. It is the most recent Devourment album, Conceived in Sewage. Devourment, I was a big fan when I first heard them, and I've kind of grown to even like them even more. Even though it's kind of been a slow rise, it's been really steady. This album grew on me immensely. I really, really like it. Very heavy. It's almost like they took a more streamlined, I don't want to say mainstream because that's kind of dumb when talking about this kind of metal, but kind of a more accessible sound. But then that's like half their sound, and then they just mix it with like the old, very brutal death metal. So Blood Red, love it, love it, love it. This might be Devourment's last album. I don't really know. They've been kind of vague about what's been going on in the Devourment camp lately. I know they were supposed to be on a tour with someone. I can't remember, but they pulled out at the last second, and like there's only 2 members left now or something. It's really up in the air, which is kind of a shame. Because there's a blueprint for a bunch of great bands, and I haven't seen them yet, and I really want to see Devourment. So, Conceived in Sewage, good latest album for them. If it's their last album, it's a good album to go out on. Alright, and then this one is another one that I found at Love Garden. Wasn't a Record Store Day exclusive, but It is Abigail, the Codex Antithesis. I picked this up. When I picked this up, I knew of Abigail, but I think I had downloaded one of their albums a long time ago. But I wasn't really sure like what to expect. This album is really good. It's pretty much straight up black metal. Oh, this is actually limited to 500 copies. Sweet, I had no idea. Very, very, very good black metal. I'm really into stuff like Behexen and Sargeist, especially lately. And this definitely hit a good, struck a good chord with me in regards to that. Probably my favorite pickup of Record Store Day. Very solid black metal, as a call. Okay, and then this one is Druke's Handful of Stars. Again, not exactly a Record Store Day release, but I found it then. Druke really was one of the first metal bands I got into. Definitely one of the first black metal bands. I know a lot of people might give them grief on kind of that style they play. It's very drawn out, very ethereal, very atmospheric. But I think Druke mixes that with kind of a ferocity of typical black metal that I don't think bands like Wolves in the Throne Room or other bands like that can really pull off great. I love a lot of Druke's stuff. I have a lot of their albums. This is the first vinyl album I have by them. Great stuff. I think this one's a little bit more, kind of added a little bit more of a post-rock vibe, but they do it great. Sounds very, very good. Okay, and then the last record I have was an amazing find. Very rare, for the first time pressed on vinyl. Or first ever time pressed on picture disc, sorry. It is Dio's Magica album. So, that's got Dio with a skull back there. Fantastic album. I don't know if there's any Dio albums that aren't fantastic. This is limited to 500 copies worldwide. That's it. So I was super stoked to find this. Yeah, this made the trip to do Record Store Day stuff worth it. Totally. Probably, like, if you could divide Dio's career into, like, the 80s, 90s, 00s, this might be his best 2000 album. That's just my opinion, but you can't go wrong with Magica. Good stuff. Very rare, very awesome. Alright, that's going to be all my albums for today. Like I said, Record Store Day is coming up. It is April 19th. I'll put a link in the description to the website. You can check what records are coming out then. See if your local store can order some for you. And definitely go out and support your local record store. Alright, that's all for me for today, and I'll talk to you later.